Welcome back to Teeny Bopper TV Breakdown. Today we recap Breaker High, episode 24, Tamira Has Two Faces. Cassidy and Denise are keeping Tamira company as she volunteers at the library when Tamira's crush Price walks in. Have we ever seen this guy before? Nope. Does this kind of introduction absolutely track for Breaker High? Yes, indeed it does. Tamira may be going into her "I can fix him" mode with this one. When Denise says, "Please don't tell me you like that arrogant jerk," Tamira defends him by saying, "He's not arrogant, he's sophisticated and complex." Cassidy recognizes the pattern too, straight up asking, "What is it with you and bad boys, Tamira? First it was Max, now it's Price, who has a new girlfriend every week," and wonders why Tamira doesn't find someone more her own speed. Like Eric from earlier in the show maybe, who by now has fully disappeared? Tamira, of course, takes that as an insult. As Cassidy and Denise leave, Tamira drops a book she was shelving, and Price picks it up and hands it back to her, which of course means he's going to fall in love with her. After the theme song, the teens, except for Sean and Tamira, are sitting in the cafeteria moaning about how they have to eat vending machine sandwiches after 7 p.m. because the chef's union doesn't allow its members to work more than 12-hour days. And good for them. They decide to open up their own late-night cafe in the space, and Captain Ballard actually thinks it's a great idea. Denise advises the rest of the teens to not tell Sean because he can go a little overboard with new business ideas, but too late, the captain is already sharing the idea with him as he walks through the door. Of course, once the brainstorming begins, the teens all have different ideas about what the cafe should serve. Nigel has been kind enough to give them $500 worth of food. Everyone except for Tamira, that is, who is still dreaming about Price. Tamira storms into her and Ashley's cabin, where Alex is giving Ashley a pedicure, and wonders why guys never seem to notice her. Ashley recommends a few tiny adjustments: makeup, hair, wardrobe, style, poise, grace, and an eyebrow tweeze. As much as Tamira wants to say she's changed, she's resistant to this much of a makeover, until Alex says he likes that she's still a kid because she reminds him of his little sister. As he leaves the room, she tries on a lipstick. It's opening night, or at least the soft launch, of the new cafe. The cafeteria is all decked out in a 50s diner theme and looking great. Sean is alternately hyping everyone up and annoying the pants off of them. When the doors finally open, it's a madhouse, and afterward, Sean gets food lobbed at him in the coffee house. Doesn't seem like it went very well, unfortunately, what with Cassidy writing orders down wrong, after Sean handed out several 2-for-1 coupons, making crowd management very difficult, which meant Alex didn't exactly do the best cooking job. Tamira may not have shown up to the cafe, but she definitely makes an appearance in the coffee house, all dressed up in a little red dress. Guess she used the cafe time to do herself up. The new look gives her enough confidence to walk right up to Price and start talking with him. Whoa! When we cut back in, Tamira and Price are alone on the deck. Well, mostly. Denise and Cassidy are spying on them through a window. Price says that after the semester ends, he's going to take the next year off to try and find himself. He feels really out of place because, as he puts it, "Have you ever seen a bigger group of losers in your life?" At that point, the girls try to check in on Tamira, but when she says she doesn't need them to look out for her, Price says, "What'd I tell you? Losers." Tamira agrees with him in words, but her body language is telling a different story. The next morning, even though she missed her first cafe shift, Tamira can't go to the group's pre-service meeting because Price wants to hang out. The meeting doesn't get off to a great start anyway. Denise reports they lost $150, which makes most of the teens not want to continue. Jimmy, who has been trying to get the group to try his Jimmy wraps the whole time to no avail, finally forces one into Denise's mouth, and she loves it. He's got several different varieties that he gives out to the rest of the group, and they're all incredible. Looks like the cafe has found its new direction. Sean walks into Tamira's cabin to find her putting away all her stuffed animals. She makes the excuse that she's redecorating because her old items are all immature, but he recognizes the deeper issues behind it. She's ignoring her friends and dressing like she's twice her age, turning into someone Sean doesn't even know. For her part, Tamira can't recognize the problem yet, saying, "Maybe I've outgrown you too." As he leaves, he says, "You shouldn't have to change who you are just to get some guy to like you. Hope he's worth it." Hear, hear. The cafe opens its doors for its next night of service, but no one has shown up, having been scared off from the night before. So the next day, the group goes on the advertising attack. Denise talks Jimmy wraps up in class, Cassidy and Ashley serve some in swimsuits on the pool deck, and Alex pops an out-of-order sign on the vending machine before sharing Jimmy Wraps with the students who show up there. While hanging out with Price, Tamira asks a really sweet question. Do you ever look up at a star and wonder if someone else is looking at the same one at the same time? When all Price says is, no. She shrivels into herself and says, me neither. Price then offers her a flask that he immediately admits is vodka. Seems the rumors that he'd been kicked out of his last school for drinking may have had some truth to them. She tells him no thank you, and while he doesn't pressure her to drink at first, he takes a swig himself. Tamira says, you know you could get expelled for that, and all Price has to say is, like I care. Then he does start to pressure her, saying, come on, we could have a good time. She takes the flask for a moment, but then says, I don't need to drink to have a good time. Am I on your loser list now too? All the rude jerk can say for himself is, hey, if the shoe fits. Instead of dissolving in tears, Tamira gathers her courage and says, you know, Price, I used to think you were someone really cool, someone I wanted to be like, but I was wrong. Next year when you go to find yourself, don't be surprised if you don't like what you find. The Jimmy Wrap advertising worked, and the cafe is bustling. Tamira shows up just in time. Cassidy is drowning in orders, and the rest of the group is also thrilled to see her. At the end of the night, after paying Nigel back, they essentially break even, which is really all they can ask for. And it seems they might be done for good, as apparently mass marketing the Jimmy Wraps took all of the love out of cooking them for Jimmy, and he won't give up the recipe to his secret sauce. Tamira is putting her cabin back to normal when Sean comes in and tells her Price has been expelled for drinking. Tamira is more okay with it than Sean expected, and she shares with Sean that she realizes she almost lost the best friends she's ever had because of Price's influence, and apologizes to Sean for the way she treated him. She asks him if he thinks she'll ever have a boyfriend, and he says, yes, and he'll see you for what you truly are, the sweetest and prettiest girl in the world. She says, you think so? And he responds, I know it for a fact. There is definitely a moment there, but neither are willing to acknowledge what it might mean. For now, anyway. Don't change that channel. We'll be right back on Teeny Bopper TV Breakdown.